Listening, ain't it? What's happening with you, YouTube? Coming at y'all from the highs. Giving y'all another update, man. It's been a good little couple of weeks. Since I started with this new company, things is looking good. Settlements is looking nice. I went to orientation up in Fort Worth. From Fort Worth, I took a load from McKinney, Texas to Louisiana, which was pretty much a load of, first of all, I went to Atlanta and picked up my trailer. And that was pretty much right around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Went and picked up my trailer. And then I picked up a load in McDonough, Georgia, and took that to the Fort Worth area. And that, I believe, was a load of, honestly, I forgot what it was. But I took a load up there for orientation. I did my orientation the next day. And then the following day, I took a load from McKinney, Texas to Louisiana. And that was a load of paper for a candy warehouse. From there, I took a load from St. Rose, Louisiana to Jackson, Georgia. And I went home from there. I took that, I'm pretty much taking weekends off. I also took off that following Monday because, I went and picked up my kids that weekend. So I took Monday off because, for one, I'm not going to, drive from the Savannah area to Columbia, South Carolina, and then back. And then jump in the truck early the next morning and start rolling for another week. So I took that Monday off. That way I can take my kids back, come back home, and relax that Monday, and then start fresh Tuesday. But I went back out on that Tuesday. I took a load from actually the town I live in, like 15 minutes away. I took a load of paper. I took that to Athens, Alabama. And then from Alabama, I went to Huntsville, Alabama. And I took a load from Athens, Alabama to Maryland, District Heights, Maryland. And I delivered, first of all, when I picked up the next load in Huntsville, the lady, the person that I'm using as a dispatcher, she's like, you can get there anytime before 4 p.m. So I'm like, cool. So I show up at the place, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the place I picked up this load from, Kohler, like the company that makes like toilets, bathtubs, and all that. Kohler. I picked up a whole trailer full of bathtubs. I looked up the reviews on this place because some of the apps that I have to use as far as tracking and, GPS locations for some of these brokers, it lets you look up, reviews that other drivers have posted for, whatever warehouses they might be. I looked at the reviews, and almost all of them are complaining about load times, having to pretty much, shut down because they ran their clock out, sitting there waiting to get loaded. So I'm like, all right, maybe they didn't change since then. I pull up at this place. It took me about an hour and a half to get a door because they didn't have any doors available. And then when I get into a door, I had to unhook from the trailer, bobtail to a certain little section and sit there. This was at like 3:51 in the afternoon. I didn't pull out of that place until 9:53, something like that. So, and then the good thing is, of course, I collect detention on that. They're willing to pay detention, but I guess they know that they're slow anyway. So, because of how long it took to get loaded, that put me behind because there's nowhere to park in that area. So I had to go find a place to park. And I found me a perfect little spot behind a Burger King. You know, a nice little dirt spot. There was a few other trucks back there. And I shut down for the night. But that put me behind because the thing that really threw me off with this particular load was the dispatcher's like, this is a 10 o'clock delivery. 10 o'clock a.m. The load that I dropped off in Athens, Alabama, was a 2:30 delivery the day before. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. I might lose y'all, but just stay with me. So I took that load to Athens before I picked up the one from Kohler in Huntsville, Alabama. 2:30 p.m. delivery. I go in there and I drop the load. The dude that was unloading the trailer was like, you know, this was supposed to be here yesterday. I'm like, look, man, the load was booked for me yesterday. You know, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, I got the rate confirmation for the load. So, I mean, the way dude was talking to me, I usually brush the stuff off, but all professionalism went out the window for a little bit. Because for one, you sitting here yelling and cussing at me because the load is 1 day late, but that has nothing to do with me, period. You know, I got the load booked. I got the rate confirmation, 8:30, 9 o'clock, the morning apparently that it was supposed to be delivered. So all of my paperwork, my entire paper trail shows today at 2:30. So I make that delivery at 2:30 that day. And then from there, I drive like an hour to go pick up my next load. So I go get that load and I shoot that up to, at this point, you know, 9:53-ish, I pull off from the little Kohler warehouse in Huntsville. Shut down. By the time I got out of that place and shut down, my 10-hour break is going to put me way past 10 o'clock in the morning. So I had already told them as soon as I started collecting detention, this load ain't going to get nowhere near 10 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, I get up to the place. You know, the broker and the dispatcher are like, just let us know when you get there, blah, blah, blah. I get up to Maryland and it's freezing. I get up to the place, you know, I check in, and as I'm checking in, I can hear the dude on the phone saying, your truck is late, blah, 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 blah. He's going to have to come back Tuesday. So when a dude finally comes to me, he's like, what do you got? And I give him the bills. He's like, we were just talking about you. I'm like, I know, I heard you. Well, you're not going to get unloaded until Tuesday because this is not how we operate. You just can't come up here on your own little leisure and expect to get unloaded. I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. If you mean you can't jump on me because I'm late, talk to the warehouse you got the product from. But of course, they're not going to think about that. All they think about is the driver. You're here late. What about the factors that made the driver late, you know? So anyways, the dudes in the warehouse that are working, you know, the forklifts are like, don't worry about it. We're going to put you in another door. We're going to go ahead and take it off. The whole time the other dude is on the phone with the broker trying to, you know, reschedule me. And this is on a Friday, meaning I'm going to have to sit there over a weekend up in Maryland. So anyway, I back into a door on the other side of the warehouse. And the dispatcher calls me back and says, hey, my apologies. They're saying that they're not going to be able to unload you until Tuesday, so you're going to get layover pay, which is fine because I would have made a lot of money just sitting there. Trust and believe I would have made a lot of money. But I didn't want to sit up there. So when she tells me that, I'm sitting there like, hey, They done already put me in the door. I'm getting ready to get unloaded right now. And, she's like, oh, well, okay. Let me hurry up and try to get you the heck up out of there. And sure enough, when they unloaded the truck in like 15 minutes. So I'm like, this dude is really making a big deal about the fact that the load is late, but your warehouse is half empty, right? All of them guys are sitting in there on their phones, talking, eating snacks. Y'all ain't doing nothing anyway. And since it was a Friday, everybody also was ready to go home. I'm like, and when I backed into the door, dude was like, is the whole truck ours? I was like, yep. It's only one address on the bills. I don't have multiple stops. So, they was kind of grunting and shaking their heads and putting their heads down. But I'm like, man, in my mind, I'm like, if you don't want to work, you don't need to be on the job. I don't like people who complain about something, complain about doing their own job. If you don't want the job, find somewhere else to work. But anyway, I got unloaded, and the dispatcher I'm using, she's awesome. She keeps me moving. Loads is booked before I even get my next load. So I had another load booked. It was literally like 20 minutes away. 2,000 pounds of styrofoam going from Maryland to Statesboro, Georgia. And Statesboro is like 45 minutes from my house. So I went and picked up that load, and I took it home over the weekend. I delivered that yesterday morning. But as you see, it's only Tuesday, but I'm at the house. And the only reason I'm at the house is because of everything else going on out there right now. I like to be cautious. I like to take any precautions I can. If I don't got to take a risk, I'm not going to take it. So I'm also supposed to be going out of town Thursday. So I'm like, keep me close to the house for the next couple of days. I'll do some short runs, and then I'm going out of town, and then I'll start fresh Monday. I'll run strong Monday. But it's really not too many things around here, and I expected it to be like this. There's not too many things around here that's running short, and if they are, they're 45,000 pounds. I'm not finna max out the truck's weight. I'm not gonna do it. You ain't gonna tear my truck up. So, I'm pretty much gonna be taking me a little week vacation for the most part. The other reason why I don't want to go out too far, especially coming back from Maryland and seeing the way, get out the trash. I got these two little dogs. The other reason why I don't want to, run like I want to is because after coming back from Maryland and seeing the way the roads is and, dealing with the weather, I don't want to be out there and all that. My heart goes out to everybody that was affected in that pile up out there in the Texas area. Rest in peace to those that lost their lives. And, I done seen pileups all over the place. I done seen trucks turned on their side. I done seen all kind of accidents, driving up in the Midwest in the winter. But this one in Texas really, it hit different for me because it's like you wake up one morning, you go to work, you start your job, you start your shift, and you don't expect to end up in a situation like that, but it comes at you like that, and then your whole life has changed forever. It made me value life a little bit more. It was an eye-opening experience, especially if you're able to put yourself in that person's shoes and look at things the way they might possibly see it. It's an eye-opener. So I got a little emotional just thinking about the whole thing, and then on my way back from Maryland, I actually passed by a truck that ran, it was off the side of the road down into some trees. And the lights were still on the truck. And it was snowing, but there wasn't no snow that had collected on top of the truck. So it's like, this truck ain't been here long. The lights are still on, but what if the guy is still in the truck? What if he can't move? What if he's hurt? You know what I mean? How long has he been there so far? How long before he runs out of gas? How long before his batteries die? You know, how long before he the heat stops working, whatever the case is. All kind of stuff went through my head, and I wanted to stop, but, I didn't. Honestly, I kept going. But, this particular industry is something that you got to keep your head on the swivel, take everything slow. There's no reason to rush. No load is worth your life or anybody else's life. It's just not worth it. Get a load there late. Deal with the consequences if there are any consequences. But at least you get there safe. I'd rather be late and safe than rush and may not even make it. Not only that, but my money making lane for me is I-20. But I-20 in Mississippi right now is a whole freaking, it's iced over too. Trucks can't even get up certain parts. The tires are spinning. So I'm like, I'm not going to go up north. 29 states as of now have a winter weather advisory. And a couple of those are on my money making lane. So I'm not going to go out there in that. So I might as well go ahead and just chill at the house. I got other ways I make money. So I'm going to deal with those. And I'm going to make it do what it do. It's not worth it. Once the weather calms down a little bit or, starts warming up, then I'm going to get back out there and running strong. But, it's just, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm at the house possibly for the rest of the week. And I'm going to go back out there Monday and I'm going to run strong with it. But so far, so good with the company. My last couple of settlements are looking real nice. So I'm set. Real good people. I like the way that, the operations team runs things. I like the way, the communication goes. It's a small company. And shit, I got no complaints. I kind of feel like I should have found them a long time ago. Not going to badmouth any other company because I got nothing really bad to say about the other company I was with, other than dealing with some of the agents. But that's just the way it is. But, that's where I'm at with it, man. No complaints. We all out here to make money, not spend it. I had people ask me for the longest time, your truck been sitting so long, why don't you try to sell it? Why don't you put somebody in it? I don't want to be responsible for somebody's payroll. Simple as that. When you out on the road, since you out, running these roads, why don't you get out the truck and go see stuff? Yeah, I would. I wouldn't mind doing it. But once you step out of that truck and start doing stuff, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be spending money. Now, I'm not cheap by any means, but me personally, I know myself. I know if I go out there and start doing this and doing that, doing this and doing that, I'm going to blow $200, $300, $400 in one night. So I'm not going to do it. I'll get out of the truck, walk around, go grab me a little bite to eat or whatever the case is on my 10-hour breaks, but I'm not going to go pay for an Uber, Lyft, a cab, whatever, to go ride around in the city and, do whatever the case is, because I'm going to be paying twice. Because not only do I got to pay for the ride out there to do whatever I'm doing, I'm spending money doing whatever I'm doing, and I'm going to have to, pay for a ride back to the truck versus getting everything that I need and just chilling around the truck. I'm out here to make money, not spend it. But the truck ran good. I got one little issue. I gotta get a new clutch switch. I think my clutch switch is going out. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it don't, and I gotta pump the clutch 10, 12 times for it to crank. So I gotta get a new switch put in. But other than that, man, the truck's been running good. No complaints. Good company. Good money coming in. And we're gonna keep it like that. So y'all stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate everybody who subscribed so far. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it going. See y'all on the next one.